It is time for the second road course race of the Samsung IndyCar Series season. As for the fifth race of the season, we head to the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park in Canada for the running of the Canadian Tire 200. Andretti Autosport's Kai Alexander on the pole for today's race. Big for that team considering Levi Jones and Andretti Autosport comes in with the owner's points lead. Who's outside starting in second is the 30 of Noggin Scott for Ray Hall Letterman. Then third place, it's Marshall Burrow for Ryan Reinbold. Fourth is Team Penske's Luke Rainey. Running out the top five, it's Brandon Grenier, another Andretti Autosport car. Sixth place, we have Trey Wright, the single car Clausen Marshall Racing. In seventh is Riley Sampson for Chip Ganassi Racing. Eighth is Tyler Fink for Carlin. In ninth is Case Neckel, the single car Greg Irwin Racing. And Mark Sass, another Andretti Autosport car, rounds out the top 10. For the rest of the field, there's Jay Randa. With him is John Smith in the 23. Then we have Anthony Hernandez with Ryan Barber in the 26th, last race winner. Then Jake Galloway, winner of the first road course race of the season at Mid-Ohio. He'll start back outside the top 15. Jose Mills, who's inside, starts in 15th. Then we have Zachary Fitzgerald Sr. with Kashawn Richardson, along with Brandon Beal and Trey Rainey. Then there's Anthony Fox and Jonathan Rains with Bronson Minnick and Christian Vargas, the 4. Then we have Cole Luigi and Dylan Trieste with John Gilbert and Justin Zidell, with Sebastian Kukulon and Carter Friesen, Christian Richardson, Oliver Evans, Riley Spurley, and Max Rossi, and in the final row, Anthony Lehman and Anthony Rodriguez in the 31. There's all 36 cars for racing on our second road course of the season in Mosport Canada. Let's go on track time and fire these Indy cars up for racing on the road course north of the border.
Drivers, start your engines!
Fired up.
"36 IndyCar drivers are ready to go racing around the road course in Canada, the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. As you mentioned, Andretti Autosport comes in with the owner's points lead. Levi Jones at the helm of that team has done a great job so far, and has 3 drivers starting inside the top 10 for the second road course race of the season, where track position will be very, very key and important. But in terms of the point standings, it's going to be up for grabs after today, as many of our front runners and points start at the back, including points leader Christian Vargas. 13 laps here around Mosport. Come to the green flag. Kai Alexander and Noggin Scott take the green. We're racing. Wheel to wheel, Noggin Scott takes the advantage to get to the lead. Kai Alexander falls back to second on the break. Here comes Marshall Burrow now for P to the 24. That was a great jump for the 30, not so great for the 20. He started first and couldn't get to the race lead. He's back to second now. He clears the 24 though. Battle for third is on, as Burrow tries to fend off Luke Rain. The 2 goes to the outside. Contact made there for third. Some cars out of shape there. Getting away goes the 30 of Noggin Scott. Up this long straightaway, maybe the longest on the race course. Battle for fourth. Grenier looking on Luke Rainey, that's for P4. At the end of the straightaway, didn't have the legs to get it done. He's right in the back of Luke, looking to pressure him into a mistake here through this corner. Look for a crossover here. This is the corner where he can do it. You see the 2 go wide. He's going to have a horrible entry. 25 can cross under right here. He didn't have the choice to do it, though. He couldn't get down to the bottom. Here comes Trey right now. That's for 5th. Gaining on Grenier to turn 1. How about Mark Silas up to 7th? He started back half of the top 10, moving further forward inside that second half of the top 10. And the battle for second is on. Burrow is all over the back of Kai Alexander, who fell back from the lead on the initial start of the race. I think that 28 is still fast, but if he keeps making mistakes trying to catch the race leader, the 30 of Noggin Scott, Marshall Burrow will be all over him. He's trying to look to the inside here, entering this next corner. He's looking there. Can he stay underneath? Can he try and drive into this corner? If you have the inside here, you normally make the pass stick. He's down to the inside into the corner. Can he make it work? Contact. Burrow's going sideways. He forces 28 out wide. Luke Rain looking 3 wide to get around them. And Kai Alexander is still in the grass. He'll join back up on his teammate Grenier. Now the battle for second. Luke Rain gets to P2. Off of all that, here comes Trey right now for the top 5. Zaren's back to 6th because of what happened there. That's one of the most important parts of the racetrack. One of the most important corners. If you mess that corner up, it basically ruins anything that you've gained on the lap prior. And now the battle for seconds. The yellow flag's out. Race back around. Noggin Scott. The race lead gets back in front. Rennie second. Burrow third. First yellow flag of the race. Looks like John Smith may have been involved with Cole Luigi and maybe some others, as some of the cars are further back in the running order. John Smith, the 23, with some issues here, limping around on the backstretch. Let's see what happened. Our first yellow flag is down the Canadian Tire 200. Here's the reason for the caution flag. Racing to the inside, Colucci to the inside, the 15 of Jonathan Rains. As they go off this corner right here, this is one of the most important corners. As mentioned, Code gets sideways, tries to keep out the 15, spins the car around, gets hit there by what looks like the 48 of John Gilbert. He's now sideways middle of the racetrack. Here comes 21 Christian Richardson. In order to go, he nails the 9 car hard. Caution flag called to Carson in the middle of the racetrack, was hit a few times. That is why the yellow flag came out. For John Smith, he was off the pace there. It was because he got into the wall off the final corner, coming to complete the first lap of the race. So he got some damage from that. And obviously, impactfully. See how these guys are kind of checked up already. Another car spun. I think that might have been the 18 of Trey Rainey. So they were already kind of stacked up as it is. And then that 9 kind of just added onto it right here. You can see Trey Rainey actually go around. He, I think, got over those curbs. He tried to accelerate on those curbs. That happens. It's just such a tough corner. It really produces a lot of trouble. And that's where, if we're going to get any more yellows, that's where it's going to happen, that corner right there. So Luke Ray got the second off all that. Noggin Scout the race lead, but now has a restart to deal with the 30 cars out in front. They're going to stay on the racetrack. They have enough fuel to make it to the end. The tires will not wear down that much. Noggin Scout the race lead here in Mosport. Green flag this time by with 9 laps of racing to go. Noggin Scott in control so far the race at every single lap. He started second though. John Smith, damage good enough for the 23. He was off the pace, possibly some sort of issue with the toe or the frame, has taken his car to the garage. He'll be done for the day. 35 cars are on the lead lap on the racetrack. Noggin Scott, Luke Rainey, Marshall Burrow, Brendan Grenier, and Trey Wright right inside the top 5. Back to the start zone and back green. Pretty good jump for Luke Rainey. Burrow goes with them. Out of line. Luke Rainey to the inside. Noggin Scott for the lead in turn 1, but the 30 fights on the outside. Can Luke keep it up there? No, now he's going to lose second. He goes way wide. Burrow to second. Rainey to third. And Grenier looking for third now. The 25 with the run to the outside of the 2. 30 goes a little wide. Here comes the 24. This is where Burrow made the pass on Kai Xander. Yellow flag is already out. We've had a crash. Zidell, Vargas, our points leader. A ton of cars involved in this one. What may have happened towards the back of the field? Racing it back around to the second yellow of the race. Burrow's going to go wide. Grenier goes wide for third, but keeps it on the pavement. Kai Xander trying to come back on his teammate Mark Silas, who's just gotten around him. So Noggin Scott's going to lead the field back to the caution flag. I do have to believe he's far enough ahead of the 24 Marshall Burrow. Let's give our second yellow flag just after the first one we mentioned here at this racetrack. This kind of caution's precautions type of racetrack. You get one, you're bound to have at least 1 or 2 more for sure. As we're racing it back around, Noggin Scott has led every lap so far. Currently is 5th. He's back in front on the restart. A terrible crash at the back of the field. Look at all these cars on pit lane. A lot of them were involved, including points leader Christian Vargas the 4. Let's see what happened. Something happens to the 3 of Justin Zidell coming off the first corner. Everything's going fine. The 3's up to pace, and right there you can see loses ground. Something a miss on the 3 car. Right behind him is Dylan Trieste, and here comes Vargas into it. He hits the 3, sends the 3 out of control, and it's on from there. The 4 is sideways. There goes Carter Freeze into the wall. Trieste gets collected. Look at cars going everywhere. Is that Brandon Beal, the 5, maybe Oliver Evans, the 77, one of those Aerosmith Pearson cars. Look at Zidell up in the air. I would call it the big one. You don't normally see the big one in IndyCar. We saw it right here. All 3 of the Aerosmith Pearson cars are in this crash. And I believe 2 of the at Carpenter Racing cars, the 20 and the 63 were sitting over there. They were involved as well. So a weird crash here to bring halt to the action. The 3 with an issue. And it collects, I would say, just the whole back half of the field. John Gilbert's in that Kukulon we mentioned. Coleridge takes to the grass. Beal and we saw Richardson, Oliver Evans. There's Anthony Lehman, Carter Friesen. Some others were in as well. We talked about Justin Zidell. He was kind of the car that started the accident. Another look at it. Already out control. Some cars hit the wall hard. I think Riley Sampson got through. There's Trieste, John Gilbert. There was Colucci driving away. That's Riley Spurley, 2 being made to try to stop. In fact, all 3 of the Ed Carpenter Racing cars were involved because the 21 was sitting over there as well. Crazy there, a team crash involving Aerosmith Peterson, all of Aerosmith Peterson, and all of Ed Carpenter Racing. Noggin Scott for Hall Letterman is out in front. 2 teammates have had some bad days so far, Rains and Kukulon. Scott's going to try to end it in victory lane for team owner Andrew Bean. Noggin Scott the race lead here in Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Green flag this time by 6 to go once we get it, as we have a car dropping off. That is pole starter Kai Xander, one of the Andretti All-Sport cars running inside the top 10 from 7th. He's got to drop down to the issue on the 28. Now Scott with the lead. A lot of cars have retired from that. Zidell, Vargas, Richardson, Kukulan, Lehman, Spurley-Tube, and John Gilbert. Carter Friesen is still out there in the 20, along with some others at the back of the field. Kai Xander from 7th will come down pit road. Leaves Nagas got the race lead. We're back going. Good jump for the 30. Got away from Burrow, the 24. Last time we saw the 2 get a great restart at the 24. That time Scott made sure that didn't happen. Up the hill. We'll see if Burrow can find a way around that 30 of Scott. He's done a great job so far this race. Scott has to just keep it out front. Goes a little wide through this corner. Burrow once again lower. Trying to get the run on corner exit, get to the inside. I don't think he has the run. He stays behind for now. Can he try for a dive bomb into this corner right here? He'll dive high. And look at Grenier use that curbing to make the pass on the 24. Grenier to second. Or is he there yet? Yeah, Burrow's not letting him take it without a fight, that's for sure. I think the 25 though, down the straightaway, this long straightaway with a nice run off the corner. He might clear him right here. Is he clear? Yes. He gets clear for a second. Scott's not pulled away quite much. Burrow with the crossover, looking to the inside, but not the run to make it work. Grenier to second. Andretti All-Sport already has 2 wins with Trieste. Oh, 30's off track. Scott went off track. Here goes Grenier with the run. He'll look to the inside of the first corner, side by side for the lead. With 5 to go, Grenier trying to take it from Scott, but the 30's still there. And these 2 side by side. Can Burrow try and get by both? Grenier goes wide because Scott forced him a little wide. Grenier falls back to second. And now the 30 wide again. He's in the grass. Grenier has taken the lead. Scott is wrecked off the track. Caution flag is out. Race there has just gone off course. We're coming around to 4 to go, which means it should be a 2-lap restart. And now who's going to lead them back will be Grenier or Burrow. Here comes Burrow to the inside. Grenier, but the 25 fights off the corner. What a great job by the 25 there, keeping the car straight. Not spin the wheels too much, keeping it going. Up the stretch. It is going to be Grenier, Burrow, Rainey the top 3. As Racer now, because Scott's led every lap, all 8 so far, has crashed off course in the middle of the track. We're coming around to 4 to go, should be a 2-lap restart. Grenier first, Burrow second, Luke Rainey third. Caution flag is in the air. And Noggin Scott, his wonderful race down the drain. Started second, led the first 8 laps. But now, no shot to win in the Canadian Tire 200. Let's see what happened to the 30. Racing off into this corner, Noggin Scott just cleared Brendan Grenier for the race lead. And the 30 just drives in too aggressively. Scott just oversteps his boundaries on this corner. And he knows it too late. And he gets off of the grass. Once you get off there, you can't control the car. He hits the tires hard. I'm actually surprised this warranted a yellow flag from IndyCar officials, from the stewards. But it did. The 30 did keep. He never really got around. He just hit the tires. I'm wondering if they have to go out there and reset the tires. They don't want someone hitting it if the tires are all messed up. Another look at this. See, he's clear by about car length or 2. He didn't have to drive in that deep, and he just did. And if he didn't do that, he would have been fine. He could have just gotten into that corner normally and kept the race lead. And look at the gap he had over the 25 and the 24, and they were side by side. Didn't have to drive in that hard. He did. He's in the tire barriers. And a shot the win gone for Noggin Scott and Rahal Linderman. He had dominated the race, and now he'll be sent to the back of the line. He was racing back with Carter Friesen. Right there he saw Anthony Lehman, or who was that? That was Trieste. He made contact racing up here inside the top 20. So the caution flag is in the air. Racing it back around was Grenier in the 25. Andretti All-Sport has won 2 races so far in this 4-race season. They won last race with the 26 of Ryan Brommer. They won Kansas with a 98 of Dylan Trice. They're looking for a road course win with Brandon Grenier here at Motorsport Green with 2 to go in the Canadian Tire 200. This will be the final restart of the race no matter what happens. Brandon Grenier out in front in control for the final restart in the 25. Behind him in second is Marshall Burrow. Third is now Trey Wright. Fourth is Mark Silas. Fifth is Tyler Fink. Still 2 bolts in the chamber for Levi Jones and Andretti All-Sport. Casey Nacco will be 6th. Jay Rando 7th. Jose Mills 8th. Jake Galloway up to 91 at Mid-Ohio. Trey Rainey finished runner-up Mid-Ohio. He's 10th. You may be wondering where the 2 Fluke Rains went. He had to come down Pedro Ignacio on the 2. Set to restart 3rd, and he'll be back of the line trying to gain any spot he can. Grenier in control for the restart. By mid-seconds, Marshall Burrow. How's the restart go? Who gets the jump? Green flag back in the air. Front 2 pretty equal. Grenier with Burrow. No real advantage there. They stand the tire tracks of each other through the first corner. Grenier a little wide through that one. Burrow a little lower, digging hard, trying to get the run. It's the corner that bit the 30 and Noggin Scott. Now Grenier's off track. Grenier to the grass, and there goes Burrow through to the lead. Marshall Burrow now to the lead with Trey Wright to 2nd. And Mark South now 3rd. Ryan Reinbold leads the race. Single car, Clausen Marshall Racing is in 2nd. Now Burrow goes wide. Trey Wright trying to close in. If they make it through that corner back in the field without wrecking, we will get to the white flag and race it back around one more lap. Burrow wants them to crash back there. Trey Wright's going, please don't. I have a shot at this thing. No yellow yet. We're still green. Coming around to the white flag for Marshall Burrow. Trey Wright in hot pursuit in 2nd. Here comes Trey. Over to the back of the 24. 24 runs a little wide through that corner. They both get through the last one pretty cleanly. White flag, last lap in Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Burrow leads, Trey Wright 2nd. A car length or 2 separates them. And 3rd place watching is Mark Sess in case those front 2 have some sort of altercation. This is the corner up here that's been 2 of our race series now. Scott and Grenier. Burrow trying to get through it cleanly. He goes a little wider. Trey Wright in the gas trying to get there. Half lap to go. If he can get through this corner well up here, he'll have a shot at it. What can he do in this corner? Can he try and get to the inside? Burrow and Trey Wright through it. Burrow through it better. Final time for the straightaway. Can he get the draft to make one more effort? He'll have 3 corners. Trey Wright looking for a run the draft, looking for a way to get around Marshall Burrow in the final few corners. Here they come. Burrow leads right. Trey over the back. Final 2 corners of the race. Burrow into it. Up the racetrack. Can Trey cut to the inside? He can't. Up the final corner. Marshall Burrow wins in Motorsport. Trey Wright gets 2nd out of the day, but the day belongs to the 24 Marshall Burrow. Ryan Reinbold wins for team owner Justin Oros. Burrow with the victory. Trey Wright a great points day for him in 2nd, along with team owner Nathan Orman. And Mark Silas for Andretti Autosport gets a well-needed 3rd place for Levi Shones after Grenier from the lead on the restart falls back to 4th. And Tyler Fink gets a top 5. What an ending to this race. The race winner, though, Marshall Burrow, beating out Trey Wright in the final laps. Let's go see the finish results on the point standings after race 5 of the season. Here are the finish results from the Canadian Tire 200 at the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. 4 caution flags for 6 laps, so apparently we had some extracurricular activities, one that came out on the final lap, and it looks like there were 2 lead changes among 3 different drivers. Winning the race, Marshall Burrow, the 24, only led the final 2 laps en route to victory. Held off Trey Wright, who ends up in 2nd, a valiant effort at 3rd, and just not enough there in the final few corners. Mark Silas ends up in 3rd. Brendan Grenier leading on the final restart. Goes wide, the same place Scott wrecked. Grenier has settled for 4th, and Tyler Fink with the top 5. Casey Nacco 6th, Jay Rando 7th, Jose Mills in 8th, Jake Galloway, road course been his style so far this season, a 9th place, backs up the win at Mid-Ohio, and for Trey Rainey, runner-up at Mid-Ohio, a 10th here today in Motorsport. As we look at the top 20, Bronson Mick with a decent 11th. How about Cole Luigi in 12th? Was involved in the first accident of the race, the first yellow of the race, got damaged in that. He was hit a few times. Comes back to finish inside the top dozen. Not too bad for the 9 team. Ryan Barmer backs up the win with a 13th place finish. 14th for Anthony Fox. Zachary Fitzgerald Sr. in 15th. Then Max Rossi 16th. Anthony Rodriguez 17th. Dylan Tri-State 18th. Oliver Evans 19th. And Keshawn Richardson rounding out the top 20. So a lot of drivers that were involved in that big crash able to finish inside the top 20, like Tri-State, Evans, Richardson. Let's look down at the rest of the finishing order. Kai Alexander started on pole. Didn't get to lead the lap though. Ends up at 21st. 22nd for Brandon Beal, Carter Fries in 23rd, Noggin Scott, dominant. Started 2nd, led the first 8 laps of the race. On the 9th lap, went wide through the same corner that bit Brandon Grenier. goes wide, hits the tire barriers, puts him back in 24th finishing position, and Riley Sampson with 25th. 26th on down out from crash damage. Luke Rain, Jonathan Rains, Anthony Hernandez, John Gilbert, Riley Spurgeon, to Anthony Lehman, Sebastian Kukulon, Christian Richardson, Christian Vargas, Justin Zeidel, and John Smith. So it's very likely that drivers like Spurley, to Gilbert, Hernandez, Rains, and Rainey were involved in some sort of altercation in that final green flag run to the checkered flag. Let's now go see the point standings after 5 races in the season. Here are how the points look 5 races now into the season, 5 different winners, and on top is Andretti Autosport's Ryan Brommer ahead of by 26 over Brian Reinbold's Marshall Burrow. Anthony Rodriguez is now 3rd, Christian Vargas 4th, Jake Galloway up inside the top 5 again. Brandon Grenier is now 6th, Justin Zeidel is down to 7th, Zachary Fitzwater Sr. is up to 8th, Bronson Makeup now to 9th, and Anthony Lehman all the way down to 10th. Casey Nackle is now 11th, Dylan Tracy down to 12th after winning early on the season, Trey Rennie is now 13th, Brandon Beal 14th, Jay Randall 15th, Cole Luigi quietly up to 16th, Kai Alexander now up to 17th, 18th for Carter Friesen, 19th for Tyler Fink, and rounding out the top 20, John Smith in the 23. 21st, we have Trey Wright. Great result here today, moved him up. 22nd for Anthony Fox, 23rd Jonathan Rains, John Gilbert 24th, and now 25th goes to Christian Richardson. Noggan Scott 26th, could have been such a great points day for the 30 team. This was not his day here today. 27th goes to Riley Sampson, because Sean Richardson is 28th. Mark Silas is now 29th. That's a great recovery for Mark. Down 36th in the points after last race, and now is the highest finishing Andretti Autosport car. So some great momentum going into the final 15 races of the season. They have Max Rossi, Riley Spurgeon, Luke Rainey, Jose Mills, Oliver Evans, Anthony Hernandez, and Sebastian Kukulon rounding out the field. In the top right are the owners' points. Of course, Andretti Autosport and Levi Schollens have amassed a great gap over a lot of the other team owners. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can try and hold it. They've been a dominant force so far. At least one has done good every race. I mean, it's not like, all 5 are doing great, or, it's just like one each race, and that's all you really need with this points format for the owners. You get one doing good a race, and you're going to be in sweet position to get yourselves the owners' championship. While 5 races are in the books, our 6th race set to be one of the craziest yet. We're going to go 1.5 mile racing at the Texas Motor Speedway for the Pennzoil 350. I will see you guys then.